Howdy, and welcome to Shop Time. And in today's video, we're going to be doing some more work on the new to us GMT800 that we recently purchased. As you can tell in this video, we're going to be working on swapping out these old discolored headlights with some newer ones that's going to update the look of the vehicle, but also make it to where the headlights are completely clear again. Now, if you have old headlights like this, you can perform work on it, do some sanding on it, and then some polishing on it, and then finally finish it off with a nice 2K clear coat or something along those lines, and restore these headlights. Because of that, I'm not gonna be disposing of these headlights. I'm gonna put them up and keep them just in case these other ones don't work in the long run. However, for this video, I wanted to go ahead and update the look of our Yukon Denali XL just to make it pop a little bit and stand out amongst the crowd of all the GMT800s that are out there. The headlights that I chose for this video are specific from 2000-2006 GMC Sierra Denali and Yukon Denali. There are other ones out there from Spec D that will fit other variations of the GMT800. There's slight differences with the headlights themselves. There's also slight differences in the hood. Be sure that you're picking the correct one for your specific truck before you purchase them. I've opened this box before so I can look at the headlights, but let's go ahead and get into the box and show the headlights on camera before I install them. I will say that Spec D did a very nice job of packaging these headlights. If you look, they are not only encased in styrofoam around the edges to hold them correctly within the shipping container to where they don't hit each other, they're also wrapped in plastic to ensure that there is no scratches or damage caused by vibration. As you can see, these are much clearer now. It still has the plastic that's on it. I'm gonna pull this off once we get them on the truck, so there'll be some satisfying peeling that happens then. So these are the new headlights that I've chosen to go with, and you'll notice that there's a white line that creates almost a square edge around both of them. That's the driving light with this. And this is definitely going to update the truck and give it a more modern look, as well as just make it stand out compared to the other GMCs that are out there. So far, assessing the quality of these, the only real fault I can give them isn't with the lights themselves. It's the fact that it didn't come with instructions. It's not technically needed to have instructions, but for those who have never done work like this before, it makes it a lot easier to have those instructions. If you don't have it though, keep on watching this video because I'm going to show it in detail, and all of the GMT800s are along this same line. So even if you have a Suburban or Yukon or even an Escalade, you can follow these same procedures and you'll be able to swap your headlights for some upgraded or different style lights that better suit your desired look. So all of the GMT800 headlights are some of the easiest headlights to swap out. I don't know why GM moved away from this design, because this makes it so simple. If you have a bulb that goes out, it is insanely easy to take care of those bulbs. Unfortunately, I also have a 2012 Silverado 2500 HD, and those headlights are an absolute pain in the rear to get to, especially since it's the Duramax. There's no easy way to get through it, and last time I did the work, I had to go through the fender well. This is a much smarter design, and I appreciate that GM did it with this. To start the removal, up here at the top of the headlight, we have two bars. We simply rotate those bars out like this, and here's the other one, and we rotate it out. After they're both out, we pull the bars straight up, and that is it. And now our headlight is completely disconnected from the chassis. All we have to do is pull it out, and now we're going to unplug our lights that are on the back. This one's a little bit more picky here. So typically what I do is I grab my pocket knife and I pull up on the little pins and I pull out on the connector. and our headlight is completely removed. Both of the headlights here should actually be 9005. This one is an LED, and this is the high beam, and I've specifically kept the LED on the high beam with the standard halogen on the low beam. The reason I have done this is because the LEDs are so bright, they hurt other drivers' eyes, and I don't want to do that to them. We're gonna go ahead and remove these lights because we are going to need them for our new headlights. Just twist out the bulb, we're gonna set it aside, and same thing with the LED, and we're going to set it aside. Now, one design flaw that Spec D Tuning did with this, the bulb won't actually connect up to this particular line. They did not include an additional wiring harness in there. You're gonna have to remove this adapter right here. Well, there's no way that you can remove this adapter with the headlight assembly as it is. This won't go through and this won't go through. So you're gonna have to take a 5.5 millimeter and you're gonna have to remove the adjuster that is here on your old headlight. Now that we have the two bolts removed, yours may be on pretty tight. If it is, you're gonna wanna take a screwdriver and put it in between the two and work it until it pries itself out like that. Now that I have it pried open, I can pull my connector completely through. It's a little bit of a work still at this point, but you can pull that connector up and through. Now we have it free there, and we have it free there. And we can now pull our pigtail off of our old headlight completely. Since I'm keeping my old headlights, I'm gonna go ahead and put my bolts back through and fasten it down. The lower light is where you will probably end up needing a screwdriver in order to remove the clip. If we look down over on this side, there is a clip. This clip is what we need to push in order to remove. And for that, we're just gonna take a big screwdriver and we're going to push that clip over, which is going to allow it to release, and then the entire assembly will pull out. Now that we have this side loose, we're going to move to the other side, and we rotate the headlight out and extract it from the inner connector. Now that we have it removed from the chassis, all we need to do is untwist our old bulbs. And now we have the entire lower headlight removed as well. Our side indicator bulb is going to remain our orange bulb, which you can tell this one's definitely old. This needs to be pulled out. And to do that, we just pull straight out on it. Then we take our driving light bulb and we extract it as well. So we're now ready to put the new assembly in, and you'll notice that there is no technical bulbs with these. What we have is connectors that go to the LEDs that are built into the housing. We're gonna go ahead and connect up the driving light. I'm not going to twist it in just yet. I want to make it easier on myself to connect up the next bulb. And you'll notice that these connectors push really far in. And then we have an additional line here that's coming off the bottom. That's actually going to go up to the upper light, and that's what's going to have our nice square look around the upper bulb as well, because that's powered off the driving light. So for now, we're going to go ahead and put this bulb in and twist it and lock it. And then we're going to put this bulb in, and the wires simply push in, and then we lock in. And at the back here, we're going to put in our side marker light and twist it in. Now, before we install this, make sure that you pull this line up so that you can easily reach it. We're gonna start with this side and we're gonna stab it in, and then we're gonna click this side in. On our upper headlight housing, you'll see that there are protective covers that go over where the high beam is and where the low beam is. And that's to prevent moisture from getting into these headlights and causing you problems. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the cover off of this one and pull the cover off of this one. Now we're gonna take our LED bulb and we're gonna put it on the bright side. Whenever you do this, it may be a little stiff the first time you put it in. Now we're gonna take our halogen bulb and we're gonna make sure that it is nice and clean of any dirt or or oils that might have accidentally got on it. Those dirts and oils will make this bulb burn out extremely quickly. Then we're going to take our assembly and we're going to put our bulb into the assembly, twist it into place. Unfortunately, on the new headlight, they have no place on the body where you can connect up your pigtail to the assembly. I'm going to go ahead and connect up the bulb, and then I'm going to connect the pigtail to the wire, and I'm going to push it down in this compartment. We're going to take the driving light lead and we're going to fish it down through the headlight, and then we're going to take the driving light lead from the bottom and we're going to connect it up here at top. And what this is going to do is it's going to make this driving light light up here on the top surface. And then we're going to take that and slide it down. We're going to take this one and slide it back in here. And now we're going to connect up the bright bulb. So if you need to adjust your headlights, we have an adjuster screw here and one over here, which will allow you to adjust your headlights. We now go ahead and slide our headlight into place. And now that we have it in place, we're going to take our connecting rods and push them down and through. We need to make sure that they get seated all the way through and that your headlight is adjusted properly. And sometimes this can be a little finicky. And then once you have them both completely down, that's whenever you want to rotate them in and lock them into their receivers. If you want to make sure that everything is set proper, you can actually wiggle the headlight. Should not pull out at the top or at the bottom. Everything should be nice and firm. You're going to have a little bit of movement. That is perfectly normal, but you should not have a lot to where the whole bottom pulls out. So we've removed all of our tools and we're going to test very carefully closing our hood. You'll want to be careful the first time you do it to make sure that it properly clears the headlight and you haven't messed something up. And as you can see, everything looks nice and it looks factory in nature. So as you can tell, this already makes a massive difference from the old to the new. The look is completely different, but it's also a lot brighter because of course it's crystal clear the way that it's supposed to be. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on the other side now and get it completed. Once I do that, I'm gonna pull off the protective film that's on the outside and then we'll test these headlights. Now I know some of you out there really love the peeling of stuff, so I'm gonna do this without even talking, just enjoy. Here we have the driving lights with it, and if we want to turn our fog lights on, you can see those at the bottom. We can go ahead and turn on our regular low beams, and then you can see just how bright it can get with those LED high beams. Everything looks really nice, very updated, especially with the driving lights themselves. But also just the brightness of the driving lights is extremely impressive. So one thing you will notice with these headlights, GM actually followed the DOT recommendation that your daytime running lights or your driving lights, whatever you want to call them, actually turn off whenever you turn on a turn signal. The reason that they recommended this is so that you could see the turn signal itself. So whenever you turn on the turn signal, it's going to turn off that running light. So whenever we turn on this turn signal, you'll see that it is a sequential lighting. So that feature is really nice, and that absolutely updates these headlights. And as soon as you turn off the light, within about half of a second, you're gonna get your daytime running light turning back on. After you have the headlights installed, you're going to want to make sure that they shine appropriately. What I would recommend is that you park the vehicle, face it towards a garage or a wall, turn the headlights on, and bring them up to a standard height. You can use another vehicle as an example of what would be a standard height for your light adjustment. Then you're going to want to either spread the light beam or bring it together depending on how they are currently spaced. Once you're done, the goal is to have good illumination without blinding other drivers. So thank you for joining me today with Shop Time and working on my GMT800. If you have any questions about the work that we did, please be sure to leave it down in the comments below. I love hearing from you all. Thanks for watching.